And I'm back, baby! And the maestro just lost his erection looking at Galadriel. I hate her so much. Galadriel, it's Galadriel. Oh, so I thought it would be funny to make a reaction vid to the last ep of Rings of Trash. Because this guy does it and he pretends it's like the best show in the world, even though it's a show of pure treachery and garbage of mythical proportions, where every single character is completely useless and delusional and IQ of a negative dung roach and has no idea how to do the most simple tasks. People teleport across time and space randomly, yet other characters take 400 years to get there. Oh, it's so bad. Destroying all of Tokyo's lore. Oh, it's actually just the worst thing. I thought it would be funny to watch it. Because he does a good job of pretending it's good, but obviously it's horrible. So.
Climax its crescendo with an orgasm of the senses, an orchestra of the heart.
Why is Sauron crying? He's supposed to be the evil Dark Lord, and they show him crying after stabbing fucking Granny Brimbor through the heart. Get absolutely obliterated. I want every character from the show to die.
And oh my Lord of the Rings,
Grand Elf. They call him Grand Elf. Oh no. Why? Dude, and then she has a chance to stab Sauron right here. Sauron literally is like lying on the ground here. And then Galadriel jumps down and she has like 20 seconds to stab him. And then she just lets Sauron warp her reality and then she just AFKs and lets him walk away.
Is this really happening? What a finale. Amazon
Dude,
finally silences
don't get me
its
started.
critics with a
Galadriel falls from the sky, but she's so fair, and she's the most beautiful woman in all the lands. So the trees save her from her fall, and then she's healed even though she has stab wounds through her entire body, and she's already bled to death midair, but she's completely fine even though she fell off a 200-foot cliff.
final show to blow your mind as Sauron and Galadriel go toe-to-toe in a Middle-earth battle of the ages. Eregion is in ruin. Not even Rian, the token, Tolkien elf, could turn the tide of the war.
The random Asian? Like, how is there just a random Asian? Like, what?
Thank you for your noble sacrifice and the diversity points. But Galadriel is back now, pointy-eared pyromaniac. Is that
Galadriel is literally outside the city, then she just somehow teleports inside the city near Celebrimbor, near Cuckback Grimbor, and then doesn't even save him, and then or like saves him for 1 second, and then 2 seconds later he's in the clutches of Sauron. It's unreal.
Celebrimbor, or Kellen Darkboard. The Dark Lord already has Galadriel's dresses. Now he has her bow and arrows. The man who made the rings is a dead ringer for a pincushion.
Tell me where you have hidden the rings. I'll end your suffering now. You are prisoner, Lord of the Rings.
Did they think that was a good line? You're the prisoner, Lord of the Rings. What? And then Sauron starts crying. How?
Perfect name for a prisoner. One wonders what P. Diddy is called.
This makes you respect people like Peziante Diddy. The Amazon writer should go to prison for longer than him. I know. Holy.
In the Peter Jackson trilogy, Sauron struck fear in the heart. In the Rings of Power, he makes your heart bleed.
Alright, so listen up. State Farm was trying to charge me $197.
It's crazy how Sauron is supposed to be the embodiment of evil, and then in every other scene he's crying and whimpering and fucking trying to pretend he's a good guy, and then they're giving you his backstory of how he wants to, like, oh god, I hate him. And then in every other scene they're showing an orc family. Oh god.
Are you Sauron?
Good guess, or good memory. The orcs remember the original Sauron. Only the Dark Lord gets this emotional.
I have many names. What is yours?
And just like that, Sauron convinces every orc in Middle-earth to join his army.
Yep, he somehow, for no reason at all, just convinced their entire army to join him out of absolutely nowhere. But, yep, makes sense since this show doesn't make any sense.
Darkness. All it took was one sad look and a simple, friendly question.
What is yours?
Ada, maybe their father.
What's your name? Okay, so now the entire army is randomly following me, even though this guy's literally been leading them for the last, like, 20 centuries.
But what they really wanted was a mom.
She-elf, turn yourself in.
Do they call Elrond a he-elf? The orcs may make babies and raise families, but they are mightily sexist.
Yes, even wounds that have endured an age can sometimes yet be healed.
And then they try to pretend he's good looking. Like, I didn't notice anything different about his face. I'm like, I thought it was actually Sauron in disguise for a second. I wouldn't have been so surprised. But then he comes out of nowhere anyway.
Is this the rings of power, or the beauty and the beast? Adar is now on Galadriel's radar.
Oh no. Oh,
Looks like
God,
Orc meat's back on the menu, ladies.
I was known by another name.
What was it?
Beautiful symmetry, Sauron.
I have many names.
And Adar.
A meaningless name.
A meaningless name for a meaningless character. While the necromancer reels off 100 names, Adar can't even give one. This is not how you build rapport. What's in store now for the orc with no name?
Take it.
He gives back the healing ring like it's nothing. What a shame Adar was not around during the Lord of the Rings.
Why does he give the ring back to... Ugh, this fucking show.
He'd have dropped the one ring into the fires of Mount Doom while on a quick trip to the Mordor shopping mall.
Oh no, he looks almost exactly the same.
Sauron did this.
He basically looks exactly the same, just not a little scar in his cheek.
Forgive me, child.
If there's one rule to live by, when a bad guy turns into a good guy, he will die. A double turn to rival WrestleMania 13. The family guy who kept asking why the orcs must go to war is the one to go.
Yeah, so this loser orc, this is the same guy who every single, like, half an episode, he's crying about how he has to go to war or whatever. Because for some reason now the orcs have personalities and they're sad that they have to go to war. Even though Tolkien made it so the orcs are bloodthirsty villains who want to kill you and destroy and raid your lands and absolutely obliterate everything and are pure evil and just are bred for war. But now, no, they're like family men who are scared to have their families go to war. It's unreal.
Another parallel. The orcs slaughter their daddy like they butchered their mommy in episode 1. The Rings of Power comes full circle. Bullseye. Galadriel's spider senses are tingling. Their first scene since she turned down his proposal to become queen.
I will never be at your side.
This is obscene.
Yeah, you think you would have killed him when you had your fucking knife at his throat, but no, that was too hard for you.
A cinematic wet dream. The Dark Lord and the Lady of Light are going to fight.
Except this is the most lame, brain-dead fight I've ever seen in my entire life. Seeing as Sauron who literally has his back turned and she could have killed him like 60 times in a row. She's literally AFK just staring at him for 3 minutes straight. I've never seen worse pauses in a show. It makes absolutely no sense. Oh, your greatest enemy ever. Not only did you have a chance to kill him 30 times and tell everybody about him for like 400 years, not only did you have a chance to do that, but then he turns his back to you again for like 3 minutes straight when you have a knife right there to kill him and you do nothing.
Some dialogue over a dying daddy.
This was your design from the beginning.
You think too much of me.
Sauron is the target.
It's so funny because she says, this was your design from the beginning. And in reality, Sauron literally did nothing. He like AFK'd in Eregion for like 3 seasons and then just did nothing. And was just wandering around Middle Earth. And then he goes, you give me too much credit. Meaning he literally did nothing. And the reason why everything is happening is because Galadriel's so retarded.
It's a game. One rewatch of season 1 shows Sauron was a moron. He was no Moriarty. He had no grand plan. He was just another guy trying to get some sweet apple pie.
Literally. We don't need to see that.
Surprisingly, this crown doesn't coronate the evil eye with severe PTSD.
Nightmares again.
It's no longer upside down, and like Sauron's fortunes, they're on the up.
Give it to me.
Give you what, saucy one? All that time with the beautiful, poetic elves of Eregion, and he's still as smooth as an Amazon Prime air delivery.
Cease comparing me to a horse.
The Elf Queen is poetry in motion. She can swim the ocean like a cruise ship. Now, she's a human battleship. Surrender, Sauron. Remember this scene?
She is the least scary person to ever exist. Even the tubby little hobbit is fucking more scary than her. Even a random inanimate object is scarier than her. Anything. Like, I don't understand. It's so bad. This show is so bad.
Your chances are somewhere between slim and none, Dark One. Wait, what's happening?
I love how, like, he cuts her, like, he just destroys her with the sword, but it's just like a small little paper cut on her body.
The Dark One looks like he's the one in the Matrix. Did Galadriel...
He just slashes the sword across her body, just gives her a minor paper cut, because she's Galadriel, fairest and wisest of them all.
Galadriel skipped leg day, and arm day, training day. She's moving like a JCB with a punctured kidney.
And don't you love how she could just go up against like an entire orc army and be completely fine? But then when she fights like one-on-one, it's like the hardest thing in the world.
The rings of power must have been patched. The ultimate badass goddess has been nerfed.
Yeah.
The Battle of Midway pales in comparison to the Battle of Midlinger.
Every single look at her face. Like, this is supposed to be the most beautiful elf ever to exist. Look at her face! What the fuck? Goop on the ground. A cockroach is more beautiful. Oh my god. I have to rub my eyes every time I look at her. Oh god.
Nerf or no nerf, Galadriel will fight to the death.
Galadriel.
Defy the light.
And then she gets stabbed in like 4 places. On top of all the other like wounds she's just suffered, she gets stabbed through the heart by the crown in 3 different places. And then she falls off a 400-foot cliff. But nah, she's completely fine.
The darkness.
The Dark Lord just wants to be touched in all the dark places.
We are not alike. We'll never be. It's just another of your illusions.
Not all of it.
Sauron plays it cool like any man crushed by his crush. We all know the Prince of Sadness flooded Middle-earth with more water than Arwen, saving Frodo. Who needs a sword fight with the evil eye when you can kick like a Jedi? So long, Sauron. I am Obi-Wan. No more karma for the chameleon, for Galadriel is stopped in her tracks.
See, she has another chance. He's AFK sitting here with no sword. And she just stands there.
Back to looking like one of
Not that it matters anyway. You kill Sauron, he just comes back again, so it doesn't really matter, I guess.
boys. Now's your chance. Take him down while his guard is down. Now, she has a soft spot for bad boys with a hot makeover. Holy Mary, cousin of Pippin. Smart move. Sauron transforms into the one thing no living being can make dead. Herself. Now he's Celebrimbor, Master Elf Darkboard.
This doesn't even make sense.
This was a PS5 game. Galadriel just put the Rings of Power on story mode.
And then she stomps her foot and makes
Highness can leap higher than mountains and bring down armies of orcs. But here she looks like Rocky trying to get up before Apollo.
Sometimes just starting is the hardest part.
Oh my god. I couldn't believe this episode, man. I actually couldn't fucking believe my eyes. Because every episode it got progressively worse.
Time to fess up. Where's the kryptonite? Superwoman is super bad. The Dark Lord's favourite move. Turning his head like Linda Blair in The Exorcist. Or Jim.
Son of a bitch! Oh!
Sauron.
Actually, I might need to go watch American Pie, see some teats.
Presumably the bedroom door.
The door is shut.
Sauron should be called Papa Sauron. At this point, his balls must be bluer than Papa Smurf's. Even Isildur is starting to blush.
God, don't get me started on this cuckbag piglet, man. This guy literally, for no reason at all, likes this girl, tried to kill him 5 times, and I don't even know if we can consider this creature that depths a girl. It's some kind of, she looks like an abomination. She's a cross between like a hippo from the Cretaceous period, Smeagol, and like some kind of reptile, like some emu or something. I don't even know.
Finally, he sticks it in.
I would have placed a crown upon your head.
You would know all about that.
I would never have rested until all Middle-earth had been brought to its knees to worship the light of its queen.
Let the books be rewritten and Tolkien's story retold. The Dark Lord just wanted to be adored by a queen from his wet fever dream. Middle-earth would have been very different if the Lady of Light gave him the light of day. Or at least her phone number. The most shocking, upsetting moment in television history. The Queen of the...
I was so happy. I was like, I really hope she dies, but then she doesn't, because we all know she's in the next movies. And for some reason, they expect us to think she died. The show is so fucking bad.
Heroine of our hearts is dying.
Every time one of the good guys gets stabbed, I get happy. But then the thing is, I don't know whether I hate the orcs more. Like, I despise the orcs more than anything, and I love seeing the orcs die in regular Lord of the Rings. But now in this Lord of the Rings, they expect you to be sympathetic towards the orcs. So I think I hate them even more, because they expect us to be sympathetic to the orcs. So I think I hate them even more than being what they are. Because in reality, they're bloodthirsty, worthless killers. But them making them out to be like sympathetic family men makes me hate the orcs even more. I want them to be slaughtered even more. But then I hate the good guys, Galadriel, even. I want her to die too. I hate every single scene with every single character. I'm like, man, I hate that character more than anything. And then I see the next scene, and it's like, I hate that one more than anything. Like, I hate Galadriel. Then I see a scene with the tubby hobbits, and I hate them. And then I see Grand Elf. It's fucking Gandalf. I hate him. Oh my god.
Will Sauron get the engagement ring back before she engages?
Then for no reason at all, she tries to hand in the ring, and then she jumps off the cliff with the ring. And instead of, oh god, it's so bad.
With the underworld.
You wish to hear, Middle-earth.
Sauron the Deceiver cracks a smile. At long last, his dream woman understands him. All he ever wanted was to be accepted and loved by her.
Heal yourself.
More rejection for the rejected one, and more homage to the fugitive. Never trust an elf with a ring atop a steep drop. The Dark Lord has been deceived again. Is he Sauron the Deceiver or Sauron the Deceived? He's fooled more than the fool of a duke.
Then this pudgy piglet who pretends to be a family man orc, who betrays the only guy who is not even a real story. They just added these people in. They aren't actual people from Tolkien's lore. They just added in all these people. For no reason at all, he kills the only guy who actually helped him in the show, Adar, and then gets stabbed in the head by Sauron 3 minutes later. Good job.
What will happen to Galadriel?
Yep, Galadriel falls off a 700-foot cliff after having 30 stab wounds, but of course she's Galadriel, so nothing can hurt her.
Wow. On Middle-earth, the Rings of Power goes full. Library of Alexandria.
That is the full record of Celebrimbor's works, the wisdom of all who ever dwelt in this place.
Leave be, I beg you.
One suspects orcs do not take orders from he-elves, she-elves, they-elves, or anyone else elves. Burn, baby, burn. But not literal babies, of course. They're orcs, not monsters. The fate of Elrond and his merry elves rests in Dwarf Prince Durin and his dad in Khazad-dûm. While Sauron is battling blue balls, they're battling a giant Balrog. Hold on, don't Balrogs appear?
This Balrog gets awakened. This Balrog gets awakened because the fat, pudgy blueberry dwarf rolls her ball into the next room, 10 feet away from a marketplace, and then somehow the Balrog's just hanging out there. It's oh my god, this show is so bad.
Long after the second age.
I don't know if I can watch this anymore. It's giving me brain
They
damage.
sure do, but to hell with cannon. This shot is straight fire. You shall not pass. Nah, you shall get your giant ass beat by an old dwarf who measures 4.5 feet.
This is the dumbest scene I've ever seen in my entire life.
Now Dad's dead. Call in the cavalry. The army of arrow-firing Oompa Loompas are more than a match for the army of orcs who enslaved all the elves.
Dude, Jil'Jiz's dad literally doesn't do anything the entire fight. This is the High King. In the story, in Tolkien's lore, Jil'Jiz's dad, Gilgalad, is supposed to be one of the most badass, heroic elves who just smites down every orc and just the High King badass. In this story, he can't even kill one orc. He's a tubby Mr. Potato Head man, bobblehead. Oh god, the show is so bad. Oh god. Don Lemon Cook yet again. I hate this guy. This is what I mean. I go from despising Gandalf then to despising Don Lemon, and then to I can't watch this anymore. It's actually giving me brain damage. Okay. Anyway, this show is complete garbage. You never watch it, and that's why literally Amazon has to inflate their numbers. The thing is, it's crazy. Like, this is a show that they spent over $1 billion on, and all they had to do was stay true at all. Even like 5% to the Tolkien lore, and the show at least would have been met with like, oh, it was okay. It was fine. At least they didn't completely destroy Tolkien, the essence of his entire story and everything that we hold good in this world. And instead, they just destroy every ounce of everything in his world and just make... Why would you... His story is so insanely good. Why wouldn't you just do exactly what's in the story? Because the writers of today are just... Dude, the writers of today think they're like the most intelligent people when these kids can't even walk and chew gum. These kids can't even open up a doorknob. These kids they don't even know what lint is. They don't even know what toilet paper to wipe their ass with leaves. And then they expect to make a better story than Tolkien, the greatest writer of all time. And George R.R. Martin should be put in prison for not finishing his book too. Anyway, stream, hope you liked that video. And comment what you think of this shit garbage show. And the Maestro never gives up.